Rise and shine, superstars. It's your favorite light coach, MV, and today is a great day. Why? Because you are still here. So stop what you're doing, comment below if you can, and scream at the top of your lungs. Come through if you are so grateful that God woke you up this morning, because gratitude is the best way to start your day. And if for some reason you don't know if you're grateful that you're still here, or you're doubting why am I still here, then I challenge you today to just sit with yourself for a few minutes and just reflect on your life, reflect on your day, and see if you can find at least one thing that you should be grateful for. Because whatever you're going through right now, I know it's tough, I know it sucks, I know it's hard, you feel like nobody understands you, but guess what? It's only temporary. It doesn't feel like that right now, but I promise you it's only temporary. The rain doesn't last forever, the sun doesn't last forever. Seasons come, seasons go. So don't make a permanent decision off of a temporary situation. All right, guys, today we are talking about adopting an NMW mindset. Don't worry. We're going to go over that. I'm going to break it down. Not NWA, NMW. Some of y'all got that. Some of y'all won't. It's okay. We family. We good. I still love you either way. NMW mindset. But first, before we get into that, let's just recap real quick over what it is that we're focusing on. So this week we're talking about why you keep quitting on yourself and why you can't accomplish your goals, or why you keep quitting on your goals. The first thing we talked about is because you're not even clear. You got to get clear on what it is that you want in life. Who do you want to become? Who do you see yourself 3 years, 5 years from now? What do you look like? What are you wearing? Where do you live? Where do you work? What are you doing? Who are you impacting? How does your family live? What are your children up to? Like, get clear on your goal and get clear on who it is that you want to become. Crystal clear, so that you know which direction you need to head towards. And a lot of us, we know we're not keeping up with our goals. We keep quitting because we have a poor mindset. And I'm not talking about financial poor. I'm talking about the principles, your beliefs, your poor mindset, POOR, passing over opportunities repeatedly. Every day that you wake up with breath in your lungs and life in your body is an opportunity for you to better yourself, for you to improve on yourself. It's an opportunity for you to make decisions that your future self will thank you for. But because your mindset is poor, you're not taking advantage of this opportunity. You don't have the get up about yourself to say, I'm going to do something today that's going to make a difference for my future tomorrow. And the reason you have a poor mindset a lot of times is because you're holding on to those limiting beliefs. And your limiting beliefs, get this, because remember, we were talking about this as a gut checker. Your limiting beliefs, a lot of times, they're the result of your trauma, of your pain, of the regret, the shame, the blame that you had from the past that you're still holding on to. You won't let it go. And so when you're holding on to all of the things that hurt you, that you've been through in the past, if you're blaming somebody else for where you are now, not taking responsibility for the fact that you're still blaming someone else and not accepting your role in what happened, or your role in holding on to it and not letting it go, then you're stopping yourself from achieving anything. Why? Because you're telling your future self, I love you, girl, but listen, I got to hold on to this because I got to remember, I can forgive him, but I'm not going to forget. You got to forgive and let go. You have to forgive yourself, and you have to forgive whoever you feel has wronged you, and let it go. But when you hold on to it and disguise it as a memory, I'm going to remember this so it doesn't happen to me again. That's not what's happening. You're holding on to it because that pain and that hurt that there is comfortable. It's uncomfortable, but it's comfortable because you're familiar with it. And you don't know what the future has. And that's an unfamiliar territory, unfamiliar discomfort. So you hold on to this. And then you tell your future self, you're saying, hey, girl, I'm sorry, but sis, listen, I got to hold on to this. I know that I want better for you, but this is what you're worth. When you hold on to your pains from the past, you're telling your future self that that's all she's worth. And you're worth more than that. So you got to let it go. You got to let go of those limiting beliefs. And I know some of y'all are like, all right, coach, listen, Coach M, come on. I got clear. I know what I want. I know what I'm going to look like. I know all these things. I'm open to opportunities. I wake up every day. I'm ready. I got my planner out. I know what I'm going to do for the day. I'm ready. I've let go of my limiting beliefs. I've forgiven myself. It was ugly. I cried. We cried together. Me, we, she, all of us, we cried together. I got you. but I'm still stuck. I'm still quitting. What is it? And that's what we're getting to today. Another reason why you keep quitting on yourself and your goals. Another reason why is because you're asking yourself the wrong question. You're not focused on the right thing. See, a lot of times when people set a goal, they ask themselves, okay, well, what is my goal? And that's a great question. Figuring that out is what you want to do is very, very important. So you figure that out. And then you ask, okay, this is it. I got it. I'm clear. How in the world do I do it? And that's what you start focusing on. How do I get this done? How do I get in front of the people that I need to get in front of? How do I get the materials that I need? How do I do this? How do I do that? All those how-dos, guess what? They're going to take care of themselves. You shouldn't even ask yourself, how is this going to happen? Because if you're being disciplined, if you're resilient, if you have adopted an attitude of excellence, if your actions are intentional, if you have mastered your thoughts and you've owned your sixth sense, your vision, I promise you the hows are going to come. Like all that right there, it's going to bring the hows. You don't even have to ask that question. The hows are going to come to you. But the most important question you should be asking yourself, once you set a goal, you're clear, and you're open to the opportunities, and you've abandoned your limiting beliefs. You got to leverage your why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to lose the weight? Why do you want to write the book? Why do you want to start the business? Why do you want to work at that job? Why? Is it just because you want the money? You want to pay the bills? You want to lose the weight so you can look cute? Like, why? When your why is weak, you don't have enough energy to sustain through the obstacles, through the adversity, through everything that's going to come your way, and stay on course to accomplish your goal. When your why is not strong enough and your goal is not bigger than yourself, then you're not going to get the job done, because you're going to fall back on your feelings. And there's going to be days that you wake up and you're like, I don't feel like doing this today. And because your why is weak, you're going to listen to yourself. You're like, you know what? You're right. Let's just take a break today. Let's breathe, relax, and we'll pick it back up tomorrow. Pick it back up tomorrow. This is your goal. Like, this is your goal. This is the thing that you want to accomplish. How are you going to put it on? Why would you put it on pause for anything or anybody else? Why would you think that tomorrow is promised you? Why would you think that you're going to get that opportunity to go after it? That's craziness. Like, what if, okay, let me ask you this. What if somebody walks up to you today and they were like, yo, listen, hear me out, and it's all legal. If you do ... you can make $1 million in 12 hours. And your response to that statement, like, this is somebody you trust now. This is somebody that you know for sure is not going to steer you wrong. Your response to that statement is, okay, I understand. That sounds so cool. But today is not a good day for me to become a millionaire. I mean, I really like that idea. So if you could just call me back at the beginning of next month, or maybe the 15th. The 15th is a really good day for me. If you could call me back, and then we could sit down and I could actually listen to what it is that you're telling me, and I can consider going for it. Is that how you're going to respond? Or would you be the type of person that'd be like, wait a minute, what? You telling me? Wait, let me make sure I'm clear. You're telling me that if I do ... in 12 hours, I'm going to have $1 million. I'm going to be a millionaire. Which one are you going to be? I'm willing to bet that you're going to be the second one. But the sad thing is, there's still people out there that would still be the first one. Like, you don't want to be a millionaire because you don't want to do the work. You don't want to have to spend 12 hours doing XYZ to become a millionaire. Like, you don't have the why. You don't even have a good enough why for a reason why you want to be a millionaire. I just want to be a millionaire. That's what we're doing when we're putting our goals on hold. Like, our why is not strong enough, and so we're like, I'll get to you later. But you can't get to it later. Later is not promised. You got to wake up and you got to be ready to go. You have to have a mindset that says, no matter what. I don't feel like doing this today. And then your wife can be like, you know what? I know you don't feel like doing this today, but I'm strong. You know, I'm a big why. You got a big goal. So you're going to suck it up. You're going to brush your teeth, get the crust out your eyes, and you're going to do whatever it takes to get it done, no matter what. That's when your why is big enough. That's how you leverage your why. That's how you stay committed to your goals. Like your why is the energy source. It's the power. It's the engine. You're the vehicle. Your goal is the destination. It's the direction that you're going to. And your why is the engine underneath the hood. So if you have this big old goal, like I get it, some of y'all got some really good goals. Like maybe your goal would be, I want to start a community for homeless people. That is a beautiful goal. Kudos to you for thinking of that. But if your why is weak, if you like, I want to start a homeless community because I just think it would be nice to get the homeless off the street. Or I just want to be on the news. It sounds cool. Whatever it is, if your why is not big enough, then guess what? That community will never be started. I mean, it might get started by somebody else. Somebody else is going to do it. Somebody else is going to have that same idea. And that, you know how many times you've had an idea? I know you have. You've had an idea and you didn't know how. That was your focus. How can I make this happen? You didn't have a strong enough why to push you to, well, why do I want to get it to happen? And you had an idea, and then 7 years later, 3 years later, boom, there it is. It happened to me. I can remember clear as day, I was walking on campus at Troy University in Alabama, Troy, Alabama, walking on campus, and I was passing this bush. And I said, you know what? Google ought to have an option where you can take a picture of something and then it tells you what that is. And here we are. Like, I don't know, it took about 10 years. Maybe it might have been out before I'm aware of it. But it's possible now. Because now if you refresh your Google or whatever, it'll give you the option. Do you want to have this as an option? Take a photo of something and I can tell you what it is. I didn't know how I was going to get that done. So I just had the idea and I let it pass. But you can't, but I didn't have a strong enough why. Why did I really want that to happen? And so when your why is not strong enough, you're just going to have the ideas or the goals and you're going to let them pass. You're going to wake up and not feel like it. And you're going to put it off. And then that put off is going to put off to the next day and the next day and the next day. And soon enough, that book that you wanted to write, those kids that you wanted to talk to, that business that you wanted to start, it doesn't get started. I mean, you might have started writing the book. You might have started reaching out to churches to talk to youth. You might have started thinking about your business. But where is it? You haven't finished it because you haven't even come up with a why that's powerful enough to push you past your feelings. Like a lot of us are still working an 8-to-5 job for somebody else's dream. Like it's not even our dream. We just hear. Like I had a coworker, he used to come in, he answers the phone, he'd be like, hey, they ask how you doing. I'm living the dream. It's not my dream, but it's somebody's dream. Well, what's your dream? What's your goal? Why are we waking up? Like you'll wake up and you'll be like, I ain't going to that raggedy job today. Then you roll out of bed, you get dressed, you brush your teeth, wash your face, get in your car. You upset on the way to work because you in traffic and now you at work for 12 hours a day for somebody else's dream. And then you mad on the way back home or wherever you got to go. But you got out of bed. You didn't feel like it, but you got out of bed for somebody else, to go work for somebody else, to go help someone else fulfill their dreams. Why? Is it for the money? Is it to pay the bills? Is it because the insurance is good? Is it because, oh, well, this job, I get 4 weeks of paid vacation, and the last one I worked at, I only get 2. You're working at a place where you have a limited amount of sick days you can take. You have a limited amount of vacation days you can take, and you can't always take those because sometimes, depending on the season, you're not allowed to take them or because your other coworkers have already called off. And then they got the whole hierarchy thing where like, oh, I've been here longer, so I'm going to get first dibs on Christmas holidays. You can have leftovers like whatever other day that nobody really wants. But you get up and you go, why? Why do you do that? Why are you sacrificing so much of your time and your life, your energy and your attention for somebody else's dream? And then when it comes to the one that you said that you want to accomplish, you quit. You quit on yourself. It's because you got a donkey why. Like, it's two types of whys, okay? It's a donkey why and it's a horse why. Now, the donkey why is you got the donkey on the farm, and his job is to carry the wood and to pull the plow. And if you take that donkey off the farm and you set him free in the wild, he's still going to be walking around looking like he pulling the plow and carrying wood. Like, he doesn't have any get up about himself. And that's your why. Your why is just, all right, I know we got this goal. Let's just get it. You know Eeyore off of Winnie the Pooh. I know y'all watched Winnie the Pooh. I don't know. I'm just going after my goal. Like, it's a donkey why. But if it's the horse, the same horse on the farm, that horse wakes up and is like, I'm a horse. I'm a horse. Like, the posture, the attitude, everything is different. And if you set that horse free, you know what it's going to do? It's running. That horse is going. It ain't waiting on nobody. You open that gate, you're like, oh, you opened the gate? Bet. And it's taking off. Your why has to have horsepower. If you got a donkey powered why, you're not getting anywhere fast. You're not getting anywhere fast because your why has no weight to it. You got to think, how in the world you're listening, but you're like, how do I get a horse-powered why? How do I get a why that's strong enough to pull a train? How do I get a why that's strong enough to power a cruise ship? How do I get a why that's powerful enough to skyrocket a rocket into outer space? How? You got to go back to that goal. You got to think about your goal, what it is that you want to accomplish, and why you want to accomplish it. Like, I get it. You got a goal. But whatever your goal is, in order to get a strong enough why, your goal has to influence, impact, and affect other people outside of you. I mean, it's going to make you feel good when you get it, but you're not going to feel as good as knowing how much it impacted and influenced in everyone else around you. And that can be in your circle, that can be in your family, that can be in the world. Like, if you got a goal to lose 25 pounds, cool. Lose that 25 pounds, girl. Focus, get it done. But you got to have a horse-powered why. All right, so you want to lose the 25 pounds, maybe because you want to look cute. You just tired of your knees aching, or you tired of the extra fat hanging here and there. But who else benefits from you losing the 25 pounds? How do your children benefit? If you're losing the weight and you gain more energy, now you can go play with them. You can hang out with them. You can stay up late with them. You're not sitting there on the couch saying, I'm tired. No, I can't do that. Can you bring me this? How will they benefit if you lose that weight? How will your spouse benefit if you lose the weight? Now that you have energy to give your spouse more attention, to serve them better. How will that work? That's where you need to start looking. Okay, I want to lose 25 pounds, but how do I get a horsepowered why? That's when you start looking at the people around you that it's going to affect when you lose the weight. Because when your why is bigger than yourself, when your goal is bigger than yourself, oh, your why has to be strong. Like, if you got a goal outside of yourself, you can't have a little rinky-dink why. Like, you can't have bicycle why and a cruise ship goal. Because y'all ain't going nowhere. All together, y'all ain't going nowhere. So think about it. Okay, you want to start a business? Why? Is it because you want to say, I'm a business owner? Or do you know that you have a service that you can provide other people, that if they experienced it, it would be the best service that they've ever experienced in their life? And it would make them better. What about you want to write a book? Why do you want to write a book? Do you want to just say, I'm an author now? I wrote a book. Or do you want to write a book because you know that you know something, and whatever it is that you know is going to help serve someone else. It's going to save them from depression. It's going to save them from going down the wrong path. It's going to save them from making the wrong decisions. It's going to save them from going through the same failures that you went through. But if your why isn't big enough, you're never going to write that book. You're never going to lose that weight. You're never going to start that business. And so many people in the world are going to miss out on the only thing that they could have gotten, the way they could have gotten it from you. It's your voice that causes them to move. It's your business that gives them the service and makes them feel better. It's your weight loss that brings so much more joy and life into your family, into your household. You got to focus on your why. And once that why gets big enough, then you can wake up and look at yourself regardless of how you're feeling. You're gonna wake up and you're gonna say, today is the day, no matter what. So this week, I just challenge you guys. Like, I want you to take 10 minutes every single day and think about your what. You know, what is it that you want? Where do you see yourself? Really envision, how's your hair looking? Who's doing your hair? You know, think about that. Give it a couple of minutes and then focus on the why. Why do I want to look good? Why do I want to feel good? Why do I want to start this business? Why do I want to write this book? Why do I want to speak to these kids? Is it because I came from the same situation and the same background and I survived? And I know that if you do what I do, you can survive too. And I know that if I tell you what not to do, you can survive even quicker and faster and better than I did. Why? Expand your mind, expand your reach, expand your reason. 10 minutes every day this week. Just sit down and focus on why it is that you want to do what you want to do. And make sure that what you want to do is outside of yourself so that you can have a strong enough why. So you're not walking around here trying to donkey why your way to a goal and wondering why you keep quitting on yourself and quitting on your goal, but instead you're going to horsepower your why. And you're going to meet that goal right up in the face and be proud when you do. And guess what? Because you did it, the rest of the world is going to be better for it. But you guys know what it is. If you don't remember anything I just said, always remember this. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be great. And it's a great day to find the greatness in you. Now go out there and live the greatest day of your life.